Boxers and sticking to retirement announcements mix together as well as oil and water, or maybe I should just say they don't mix together at all. So when it was announced that Tyson Fury would be returning to the ring against Derek Chisora not long after what was supposed to be his final fight against Dillian Whyte, I thought, I'm not surprised, But some of you may be surprised to know that Fury and Chisora have already fought twice before, and this will be their third fight together. So to preview this upcoming fight, let's take a quick look at their first two fights. But first, a message from today's sponsor, Boxing Showtimes. If you're a boxing fan and never want to miss a fight, Boxing Showtimes is the only app you'll need. This app has a full boxing schedule that will show you where to buy tickets, keep you up to date with boxing news, give you reminders on upcoming fights, and so much more. My favorite feature of Boxing Showtimes is the interactive map that allows you to see what places are showing the fights closest to you. Use my link in the description to download for free, and once again thank you Boxing Showtimes. Now, while Tyson Fury won both fights, the first fight was certainly a lot more competitive than the rematch ended up being, and one of the biggest reasons for that was Tyson Fury's improvements on control, which is the main point we're going to be looking at in this video. One of the more obvious methods of control we think about for those of us familiar with Tyson Fury's style is his ability to punch, then immediately smother or clinch to prevent return fire from his opponent. Fury has a height and reach advantage over virtually everyone he could possibly fight, which means he'll be able to get his punches off at ranges where his opponent can't hit him back. This in turn allows him to do things like punch from outside range, then clinch if his opponent cuts the distance, or he could jab from outside range, step in range with a power shot, then clinch to prevent a counter. However, this wasn't the main method of control that made the difference between how the first and second fight played out. As you could see, Fury clearly applied this tactic of punching and tying up in both fights, yet in the first fight he got hit with big shots way more often than he did in the second fight. So here in the first fight we see Tyson Fury tries to attack with a right hand and then a left hook, and then you see he tries to angle out after his attack, but Chisora cuts him off with a big right hand that lands clean. So what could Tyson Fury do to have prevented this? Well, here in the second fight we see almost the same exact situation. You see Chisora ducks a hook, and then you see the same body shot that was the same one in the first fight, except this time you see the same right hand and Tyson Fury dodges it. So what happened? It's subtle, but Fury uses that left hook to control Chisora by slightly pushing him off balance so that the right hand misses. You see him use that left hook to control him, he pushes him, and by momentarily controlling Chisora by pushing him, Fury was able to adapt to the same situation that got him nailed in the first fight by combining his movement angling out to the outside with control pushing him to make that punch miss. Compare this to the first fight where Fury only used movement with no control, which allowed Chisora to freely punch him. To illustrate another example, here we see in the first fight, Tyson Fury is pulling back from an attack from Chisora and ends up getting caught by a right hand, but in the second fight you see his pulling back here, and then he's able to dodge the right hand by pulling back. So what was the difference here? In the first fight, Fury just pulls back, but in the second fight, after he throws his combination, he pulls, but it's really subtle, but he uses his signature long guard, which provides an obstacle for Chisora to punch through. So now Chisora has to punch around the long guard, which ends up wide enough of a punching path for Fury to pull from. So you notice that Fury's arm in his long guard is still making contact with Chisora's arm, which disrupts the punch path. So again, without using the long guard to control Chisora's punch lane, Chisora could use a straighter punch to catch Fury, and when Fury pulls back in combination with the long guard, he controls Chisora's punch path to a wider one that gives Fury the space and the time to pull away from it. And another example, in the first fight, you see Fury throws a combination and then is able to pull away from Chisora's counter, but then Chisora just walks up and is able to punch Fury. Here you see the same situation. In the second fight, a combination from Fury is able to pull away from the counter, but he immediately goes into controlling Chisora with a probing jab, As you see, he shoots that probing jab, controlling Chisora, and now you see instead of walking in and punching, Chisora is now guarding because of Fury's control with that probing jab. So then you see the probing left hand from Fury, and then the body shot, and then immediately goes into smothering him to prevent any counter punch. Brilliant boxing. So again, without any kind of control, there's absolutely nothing stopping Chisora. There's no resistance and no threat from Fury to stop Chisora from walking up and just punching him. Compare that to the second fight where Fury goes into the probing jabs, which don't look like much, but the probing jabs occupy Chisora and control the empty space between them so that Chisora can't just walk in for free. They also control Chisora into guarding, which allows Fury to set up his offense all over again. To put it simply, Tyson Fury improved way too much for Derek Chisora to handle, going from the first to the second fight. Unless Chisora and his camp come up with some kind of genius game plan going into the third fight, Chisora will find himself outclassed, and might even find himself waking up looking up at the stadium lights at some point in the fight. If you want to bet on this fight, be sure to use my BetUS link in the description. It'll go towards helping out the channel. And that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you all for watching, and special thanks to my GOAT tier patrons for supporting the channel: Jason Maheenan, Grant Gabriel, Albert Chen, Jeff, Dimitri Drozdov, Andre, Gostali Geza, Mark Price, Marshall Bott, Swaz and the Bear, Jesus Galindo, and my channel member, Hot Pocket Maestro. You guys keep the channel going, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you all for watching.